Hi everyone, this is Big Boss Calvin 83. This video, it's gonna be a long video, but what I'm gonna cover, I'm going to expose more of the matriarchy and what it has done for us, and how matriarchy, female privilege, has destroyed us and made people, even women themselves, suffer. And the reason why you have chaos and violence, people getting raped, people getting killed, people just being abused, and all the animosity that people have suffered, even suicide has occurred because of the governance of matriarchy and the manipulation of lies and the moral breakdown. So what I have decided to put together is to show you what, how, and why in your face. So have a good one for now, and I'll give you my commentary at the end. Alright, here's an article that I want to share with you. For those who are watching, this is what I want to share with you people. This article is from Clutch. Not a fan of this stuff, but it's written by a black feminist. Jamila Nimlux. I think that's how you say her name. This is what I want to read right now. The title right here speaks for itself. Act like a man and think like a lady. Okay. So, oh my god, I can't highlight it. Act like a man, think like a lady. Listen up, man folk. We women have been instructed over and over again about what, who, how we need to be in order to be good enough to have a man in our lives. It's y'all turn to worry about yourselves into a frenzy and adjust in order to be worthy of our affections. Nice. Let me stop here for a little bit. Female supremacy. I like to know what this bitch is talking about. That women have been. She's trying to say that women have been catering to men, but men don't have to do anything, which is bullshit. It's the other way. It's the other way around.
I thought that there was really going to be something for me to respond to. Because I glanced through the article, Jamila Lemieux's article earlier, and I told myself, I was like, I looked at the article and I looked at the comments, and the comments was nothing but a whole bunch of ad hominems. The whole article was nothing. What is this shit called? Talking reckless.
That this was what was going on, but this is what this guy does, and then he's going to try to make you think that me and my friends, even my guy friends, were in there talking badly about you, which is not true. We talked badly about crazy man, erectile dysfunction man, but we didn't.
There's no rebuttal. There's no type of response to any of the things that I said. It's a lot of emotional statements like, oh, it's just so sad, and he's just so sad, and it's so upsetting that so many black men think this way, and he's crazed and delusional. I'm like, can you address the points that I made about how feminism is affecting the black community? And while you have a lot of your well-to-do brothers that aren't checking for black women, regardless of how fine they look, if they mind ain't right. I don't even want to go in that. But then when you get to a woman that's actually attractive, a lot of times, and this is what I try to explain to God to be kidding me, they got that matriarchal thing, because the matriarchy, feminism mentality is ubiquitous in the fucking community, right? But anyway, there's nothing but a whole bunch of name calling in here, even in the comments section. And let me point this out. On Gen X, we do not block comments. If a woman wants to come on here, I can't say that you won't get cursed out by some of the wild cards that are on the site. You know what I'm saying? But your comments will not get blocked. And even, you know, even if some one of the guys decides to curse you out and call you out of your name on GenerationX.net, you know, it's not gonna hold a lot of weight. It's not gonna go any far, because even other dudes on the site will be like, nah, dude, address what she said. She made a point. Answer her question. You know what I mean? Like, so a lot of people, they just, you know, what do you call it? We overlook the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? If it's bullshit, we know it's bullshit. Nobody wants to get into, you know, a 15-minute conversation about, addressing somebody because they call somebody out a name, because we understand why people are frustrated on the site, especially the black men. So, you know, we welcome all the women to come on there and come up with all the rebuttals to what brothers like myself are saying and other brothers on the site are saying. Okay, but that in all the 4 years that we've been on the internet, that hasn't been done. If you're a feminist, matriarchal woman, then what black women try to do is they always try to go to the fact that he's with her because she's white, as opposed to the fact that he's not with the black woman because she's a matriarch. She doesn't believe in that in male leadership. You know, the way that black women are being raised, you know, is fucked up. The way that a lot of men are being raised is fucked up. This matriarchal thing. A lot of your progressive brothers out here were either taught the traditional way it was, which is, this is the responsibilities of a man. This is what a man has to do. Women see that as privilege, as she said at the end of her article. Where is it at? By definition, it challenges a system that provides men with certain inherent benefits, even men like this one who feel that their race denies them those advantages, want to maintain the system in hopes that one day they might be as powerful as whatever forces kept them from experiencing what they feel entitled to. That whole block right there is a straw man argument. Okay, the first part is completely wrong with where she says provides men with inherent benefits. So she sees male patriarchy as exclusively beneficial to men, and women. This is the problem with the way that feminists view patriarchy. They don't even understand the privileges that are put in place for women underneath a patriarchy, because there is an acknowledgement from men which basically says, hey, I'm leading stuff, you're getting with my program, you don't have to do this, and this, and it's not your responsibility. What black feminists, or just feminists in general, are trying to do is they are trying to charge men with the responsibility, maintain female privilege, and dismantle male leadership. That is the crutch of what they are trying to do. That's the basis of what they are trying to do. This, and this, and it's not your responsibility. What black feminists, or just feminists in general, are trying to do is they are trying to charge men with the responsibility, maintain female privilege, and dismantle male leadership. That is the crutch of what they are trying to do. That's the basis of what they are trying to do. This, and this, and it's not your responsibility. What black feminists, or just feminists in general, are trying to do is they are trying to charge men with the responsibility, maintain female privilege, and dismantle male leadership. That is the crutch of what they are trying to do. That's the basis of what they are trying to do. We can beat around the bush all day. She thinks that patriarchy is exclusively beneficial to males, and that women have no benefit in a patriarchy. Question: where did chivalry come from? Did that come from a matriarchal structure? Or did that come from patriarchal structure? You know, the idea of men paying for dinner, and the idea that a woman doesn't have to work; she has the option of not working. If a man didn't work, it would be a fucking problem. He's less of a man. He's a bitch. Oh, you need to go out here and do this because you're a man, based upon his gender. His role is defined by his gender when it comes to responsibility in the eyes of black women. But they don't want leadership. That's what this article comes down to. It doesn't come down to white bitches. White bitches ain't got shit to do with this. I've seen you on numerous occasions bring up white women. At least in 40% of your articles, you bring up white women, Jamila. And white women have nothing. You have this raging insecurity about white women. And you're not even a bad looking woman. You're not. But you constantly bring up white women. And I'm sure it comes out of you bringing up white women when you were fat, when you were overweight, and you probably had brothers that weren't checking for you because you were little on the hefty side. But y'all sisters think that being big and sexy is so damn wonderful. And you think that brothers want Monique as opposed to wanting what's her name, Bria Myers, or Buffy the Body. That's a different build than Monique. But y'all women keep trying to move the fence on fat, but that's a whole different conversation, right? But the other thing that she tried to do in this article at the beginning was, what did she do? She brought up her boyfriend. And black women do this all the time. They bring up their now I don't know, dude. I have no clue what her situation is with dude. But the fact that she is stating the type of woman that she is, and the fact that he goes out here and he tolerates that, tells me a lot about this brother. Either that or he doesn't know the type of shit that she's on. Okay? But he must know now if he read the article and he's co-signing the shit. Either that or, he's one of these guys out here that, really don't care. They really don't care. They just happy they with the chick, and they really know that she's on bullshit, but they just kind of like, whatever, I do what I want. Or they're in simp mode where she's basically covering up for the fact that he is a simp. Like Don Nicoleon. Don Nicoleon is with a man that's more established than her, but what Don Nicoleon doesn't tell everybody is the fact that her man is substantially older than her. He's an old man. She's compared to her. I mean, compared to him, she's a young piece of ass. If you a 60-something-year-old man, a 34-year-old woman looks good as hell to you, right? And if she want to run around talking about how she running it and everything and blah, 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 she ain't really running it. But you let her think that shit because she giving you pussy every night. So you got that situation, right? But like I said, I don't know what's going on with Jamila and her man. But the thing is what black women try to do is they try to take these guys and put them up on a pedestal. They take these simps and put them up on a pedestal because black women know that Ray Rays and Pookies are only going to get them so far. Okay? They've realized that, that a Ray Ray and Pookie is not going to, she goes out, gets her education, she's on point, she gets herself established first, then she tries to add a man to her program, he's not established, and that she's going to get him to mentally get to her level because, she wants to get a Tupac with a degree. He got the street swag, all that stuff. And she expects him to get it together once they end up having a child. There's a lot of black women who think that, but it doesn't happen. And a lot of women are realizing that. So what's the next plan? What do they got to do? They got to go out here and they got to, if they're going to maintain this matriarchal structure, they got to go out here and convince black men to be on point simps. That the epitome of a black man is to be an on point simp. Is to be a six-figure nigga and let a woman lead.
To be worthy of our affections, which means she's on our pedestal talking dumb shit. Talking that bullshit. How about you, lady? How about you women do something for us to be worthy of our affections and stop catering to the wrong guy, which is your bad boy most of the time. Or it's a guy who has a lot of money, which you're using him for your own financial gain. That's all. I mean, the only time you want to cater to a man is when you want something, or you feel you're entitled to something that you did not achieve, you did not earn, you didn't bust your ass, you didn't work for, you didn't accomplish, you didn't think, you didn't take the time to plan, think, strategize. You didn't have to. You didn't physically put yourself out there. You didn't physically go through the labor and the pain and suffering and the disappointments and the hardships to get that success. So I don't know why anybody owes you a living if you are an independent, strong, independent feminist. If you're strong and independent, then why do you want to have a man? Makes no sense. Anyway, enough of that tangent. Okay. This list will serve as a guide to show you the sort of men you need to be. We tried to get in touch with Monique, or Samora, I think that's how you say her name, to put you up on game. But they were not available, so y'all have to listen to me. Pay close attention. I won't steer you wrong. Yes, you will, because it's all bullshit. And what game? And why do you have to make a list for us? You saying you want us to be the man that you... It's like, what this bitch is saying, it's all wrong. It's 2:30 right now. So basically, this bitch will not accept a man for who he is. A lot of women don't accept a man for who they are. But these bitches have the audacity to feel entitled that a man should overlook their faults, their flaws, and like them unconditionally for who they are, and love them for who they are, despite these negative faults that they have. And when I mean by faults, I'm talking about faults that you can maintain, that you can correct, and that you can improve on, and for your strengths. I'm talking about faults that are fixable, not stuff that you can't change, like how you look, your height. And sometimes, believe it or not, you can't change your weight. And what I mean by that, you can lose a certain amount of weight, but your body structure won't change necessarily. The way a person thinks, what they've been through, what they experience, what they encounter. Some people don't handle certain things well, and certain people handle things better. That's just the way of life. So when you talk about, when I'm talking about things that you can change, I'm talking about things that are within your control, not stuff that is out of your control.
But yeah, I was frustrated at the fact that she didn't address anything. It was nothing but the whole comment section. And then on top of that, there's no men in the comment section. You're gonna tell me that the last video has almost 200 comments, as I'm looking at it, 199 comments, but yet this response only has 54 comments. The reason it only has 54 comments is because Jamila is sitting there filtering the comments that come from men she won't let pass through. Okay? She wants to sit there and have a whole bunch of women co-sign her. This is one of the reasons why the dialogues between black men and black women fall apart. Because women like to sit around and have women co-sign them. They want to believe what they want to believe. Damn. Black women want to believe what they want to believe. They don't want to be challenged on any of the stuff that that they believe. The thing that pisses me off are the women that want to sit there and claim all this loyalty to black men. I just saw another motherfucking comment sitting up there. Woman talking about how much she supported a black man and the black man did her wrong and he wasn't this and he wasn't that. Don't sit there and motherfucking, this is one of the comments that got fucking deleted. Don't sit there and motherfucking tell a black man that ain't done no shit to you wrong, right? What another nigga did to you and how he screwed you over when that motherfucker wasn't on point, wasn't established, didn't have his shit together. Really, you couldn't even validate to a fucking courtroom why you was with the motherfucker other than the fact that you loved him. Other than the fact that he has some good dick. Okay, if you couldn't stand in front of a fucking jury and really validly explain why you was with this motherfucker, don't ever come to a nigga talking about, oh, you supported a black man. Because y'all, you so many black women out here, you go out here and you support the wrong ones. Then from the ones that you never fucking supported that actually got their shit together and busted their ass off to get wherever the fuck they got, then you want to fucking come back and tell them how you deserve a motherfucking cookie based off of your support of another nigga. Another nigga that you had no business supporting in the goddamn first place. That's the shit that make me hot. And it's not even the statement that makes me, it's the fact that black women's thought process only goes from A to A. It never goes from A to B. Like, they never stop themselves before they open their mouths. Like, they're like, and I supported this nigga and he just left me high and dry. And I'm like, how come the simple ass question of, was this dude even really a decent dude for you to be supporting him like that? It'd be one thing if you went out here and you supported a Barack Obama ass nigga and he did you wrong. I wouldn't have shit to say. But don't tell me about no niggas out here, oh, I supported him and he ain't had no job, he ain't no car, he ain't no money, and he was living with me, and I was supporting him, and he did me mother. No, your bitch ass got motherfucking gamed, ho. We told you to stop fucking with fire. Oh, he had swag. He had swag. Well, guess what? Swag comes at a fucking price. We've been trying to tell you that shit. I'm not knocking you for being attracted with a dude with swag. I'm saying a lot of times swag comes at a motherfucking price. You got what you bargained for. You paid for what you bought. But I'm so sick of y'all women bringing that shit to other niggas that ain't got shit to do with y'all. Ain't got shit to do with y'all. Especially the niggas that you want to jump up and say they out there fucking with white women. Because if they fucking with white women, then that means they ain't never had a chance to do no negative shit to a black woman. Because they ain't fucking with shit. The same niggas fucking with white girls and marrying white girls can't be the same niggas running out here and getting y'all pregnant in the large quantity of numbers that we're talking about when we look at the fucking community. You talking about two different sets of men. But yet y'all black women, y'all can't distinguish. Y'all can't distinguish. And all your complaints, all your motherfucking complaints are just all black men lumped together in one ass motherfucking lump sum. And y'all jump up and you try to say niggas do the same shit in a piss poor context. Since when does having an education mean that a black woman can't be fat? Since when does having an education mean that a black woman can't have a fucked up attitude? Since when does having an education mean that a black woman can't have a bunch of kids out of wedlock or doesn't have matriarchal think? Since when? And nobody's saying that on point men can't cheat. Just because a nigga's got an education doesn't mean he can't cheat. But again, the 15 minutes ago, the complaint was that on point niggas wasn't checking for you, wasn't fucking with you. They was with white bitches. They wasn't even looking in your goddamn direction. So they wouldn't even have the opportunity again to motherfucking cheat on you because, again, they don't exist. They're not present. They're not there. They ain't checking for you. They ain't fucking with you. You know, so again, all I got to do is take the words that y'all say and throw them right the fuck back at you. And one of the hardest things about any of these arguments it's the fact that people just won't acknowledge the simple percentages. It's like, yes, this percentage of motherfuckers that do this shit exists. But that does not mean that shit swallows the goddamn rule. It does not mean that shit swallows the rule. Y'all black women, y'all try to find, you hear all the complaints that On Point Brothers making. You can't nail none of them to the fucking cross. Then y'all run out and you try to find the most well put together black man that's just doing black women wrong and take that motherfucker and amplify him to represent all on point niggas that, again, y'all are saying they ain't even fucking with you or checking for you.
There's some things I'm going to show you myself. And Sergeant Willie Pete is correct. You have black women. And this just doesn't apply to just black women. You have women who don't want to know the truth. They feel they can say whatever, make any blanket statement with no backing. Or you try to air out your grievances, you try to address your issues and your frustrations as a man, your issues as a man, and they don't want to hear it. You know what you can do? You can hit pause and just read the messages yourself. I'm going to show you more. Just look. You see, we have women who have a high list of expectations. The man has to do it all, and she don't have to do anything. Just stick a pick. It is absurd. It's funny how, just me being on Facebook, women will, spew out their opinions about men, feel they can just bash men, say whatever, and that you can't challenge them, which is absurd. If you make a blanket statement, you better back it up, and you better have your sources, and you better have proof and factual evidence, and you better know why you feel the way you feel, and why you have the opinions that you have, and where did you get it from. You just can't just spew out at the mouth and expect nobody to challenge you on your opinion. You understand what I'm saying? You see what I'm talking about? Remember this post? Like I said, bitches feel they can just say whatever, make any blanket statement, but you can't challenge them on it. Like I said, the social media is, you have a lot of female parasites. Looney Dooney. You're right about that, bitch. You are loony. You're nuts. Anything for that matter, guys suck. That's all there is to it. It makes me wonder if I ever find something worthy of my time. That's right. She's on a pedestal. That's what I call false sense of entitlement. Then you tell the bitch what her problem is. She asks why the problem is. You don't make a statement like that and expect nobody to challenge you. Then you're gonna behave like a child because you never grew the fuck up. And then you wanna play victim, which is beyond me. I mean, she shot her own self in the fucking foot. What I came to realize is that these women, at article after article, a lot of women who claim to be a good woman, they're not. And I'll give you a tip. If you have to actually tell somebody and try to convince somebody that you're not this, you're not the bitch, you're not a feminist, you're not sexist, anything along those lines, then you are. You have to try to browbeat me into to fall for your persona that you're just loving caring person, but you're not. You're a fake motherfucker. You're not fooling nobody. You're fooling yourself. This is what I'm talking about. Women and men on their fucking pedestal. They're on their pedestal. To have a vagina, they can just. If you have a vagina, the world of society is telling us, due to this whole global matriarchy of feminism, is that as long as you're pretty, as long as you have a vagina, a hole between your legs, you have it made.
One of the things that I notice about black women when it comes to feminism is they're a lot like the Republican Party. As African Americans, we know much of the Republican Party ideology is racist. Same with the Tea Partiers. Now the Republicans want to put the racism on the Tea Party, But we all know the coded language that Republicans use, when they're, when they're trying to make their talking points. They always go back to talking about states' rights and we want to take back America. It's coded language. I mean, that's 1960s lingo, because back then you couldn't just come out and say, nigger this and nigger that. You wanted to sound patriotic and you didn't want to sound un-American, even though they knew that America was shifting towards, social integration. And I emphasize just social integration, not economic integration, not integration in the workforce, just social integration. So, they couldn't say things like nigger this and nigger that, like what you would see in a lot of the news interviews back in the 50s, where white people just was like, nigger, those negras and niggers. And, they was just real comfortable with saying it. Okay, by the late 60s, you couldn't say that. So what they did is they started using coded language. They would talk about states' rights, and they would talk about busing. This is why you had white flight, and you had the creation of a lot of private schools. They didn't want their white kids to go to black schools with black people. So they started using coded language, and black feminists do the same thing. Okay, they start talking about equality. When it's like, okay, if the man's not leading anything, who's leading anything? You don't believe in male leadership, right? But so what do you believe in? I believe in equality. But yet, when you go into the fine details of everything that they're talking about, it's clearly evident that they don't believe in equality. It's clearly evident that they don't believe in equality, because if you start talking about making it everything 50-50 across the board, what you start hearing is how they want to maintain female privilege. They want to maintain the responsibilities that men should uphold underneath a patriarchy. But yet what they want to have is they want to have the power, they want to wear the pants, but they don't want to have the responsibility that comes along with it. And I'm gonna keep repeating this as long as I hear black women keep spewing this BS about the fact that we want true equality. No, you don't. Y'all want to maintain. That's why a lot of y'all are bitching in the first place. You know what I'm saying? You're bitching about the fact that the nigga don't have a job. The nigga just stays at home. He lives with you or whatever. I'm not saying Jamila. I'm saying black women in general. They bitch about shit like that, and I'm like, whoa, feminism. What happened to equality and shit? You know what I'm saying? What happened to this idea of role reversal that you got going on? I mean, if a man for the last God knows how long could go to work every day, his wife could stay home and raise the children, why can't we reverse that? Why can't we have men baking pancakes and wearing aprons at home, and y'all women go out to work every day and you take care of the house and home? But see, what you hear women bitch about that. They complain about the man not going out here. Be a man. Now all of a sudden, what he needs to do is based upon his gender. But what the woman needs to do is not based upon her gender. They have no roles. They get to do whatever they want. You can't tell me what not to do. See, that's what women always want to bring the conversation to when they want to talk feminism. They want to talk about what you can't tell them to do because they're women. But I don't even got to say it. I'm not going to sit there and command to you what you need to do. Okay, fine. You got an issue with me telling you what you need to do as a woman, just like you tell me what I need to do as a man. Okay, tell me what your role is. If we want to talk about equality, or if you want to go with the idea that women have their role and men have their role, what is your role as a woman? What is your role in the home as a woman? Tell me, break it down for me. And they can't do this for you. Miss Heartbeat is notorious for this shit. You know what I'm saying? She'll go into the role of men and how men are supposed to, protect and provide for women. And I'm like, isn't it amazing how all this traditional stuff is still maintained in 2011 when you have women pointing out feminism? When you have women pointing out, things need to change, and I'm not going to be held down to some old shitty ass old school gender role, but yet women still want to maintain all that protect and provide crap for men. I'm like, whoa. Isn't somebody being quite the hypocrite?
Okay, since this bitch feels is on a pedestal, I want to talk about a fucking list. Here we go. For starters, if you want to have a quality woman, you have to be mindful of your appearance. You all spend too much time fretting over how we look. What's really good with your body? Are you hitting the gym enough? How many buttons do your suits have? If you said the number 3, that's too many. What's your shoe game talking about? Just remember, you always have to worry about how you look. So it's about looks. Because the greatest guy in the world can get easily dismissed if he's rocking a pale leather, and pair of, how do you say this word? Sarconiums. Find out how the woman of your desires thinks that a man should look and contact her for some style advice. Don't be afraid to get a Duke tuxilizer or cut off your locks. You need to show how serious you are about being appealing to the feminine eye. This is my problem with this part. Look, when it comes down to, she said it, it's all about looks. So basically, a woman can see a guy that can be the right guy, who can be a potential match, and that man can be the one. All she got to do is just get to know the guy, find out who they're about. Just look at their character, look at how this person, their personality, look how they. Just be happy based on how they handle things and how they think, and how they treat you. More importantly, and more importantly, how they treat themselves and other people. It comes down to a person's morals and ethics and character, and integrity. All this about a person's what kind of clothes they have and blah blah blah. Understand this. If you're talking, I'm not talking about a person who has poor hygiene and wears raggedy, filthy, dirty clothes that stink, and clothes that are just worn out, damaged. Okay, and this motherfucker just don't give a damn how they look in terms of that aspect and about their wardrobe and their attire. If you're poor in hygiene and have filthy clothes and they're torn up, and you're wearing stuff that's not really appropriate for whatever social event, or you're just not having a respectable, a decent, respectable fashion of, how do I say, in terms of clothing, what is appropriate and what is not. More importantly, I'm trying to say this, I'm trying to make sense. Wearing clothes that compliment you, represent you. When it comes to a hygiene aspect and how you present yourself in that aspect, I understand that part. Where I have a problem is she's judging a man about what kind of clothes, judging a man based on what kind of clothes he has, not his hygiene, and not the way a person conducts himself, of the fashion sense of hygiene and how they present themselves. She's worried about what the guy's type of clothes and type of shoes, which has nothing to do with nothing. You gotta understand, some people can't afford to have that, that great Armani suit. Some people don't have money like that right now. Some people can't afford to have fancy clothes like that. Especially in these bad economic times. Some people can't afford to buy Kenneth Cole shoes. They have to shop at Payless. So they have to buy clothes from Walmart or Burlington Coat Factory. They can't buy these expensive fancy clothes. How in the hell are these fancy clothes represent you? I understand the hygiene aspect and wearing clothes that compliment an individual, but when you talk about judging a person by what kind of clothes they have and how many buttons they have on a suit, that's fucking ridiculous. Guys are not, as you already know, most men don't give a fuck about what kind of fashion a woman wears. So you women buying expensive clothes, you don't give a damn about what a man's opinion is. The only opinion that you care is the man that you're trying to bang. You're trying to go after a rich man with a lot of money. That's why y'all max out your credit cards and all that shit. That's like you wear these fancy things to get noticed. But if a regular guy tries to get to notice you like that, you want to charge him with street harassment, sexual harassment, stalking. He's a pervert. Most of the time, women don't give a damn about what a man's opinion is when it comes to so-called fashion. If he's a common regular guy, they don't give a shit. So she's worried about looks. So basically, the guy can be, he may not be the best dresser, but he has a good heart. He's caring. I'm not saying every person has a good heart, but I'm talking about this person can be responsible for what they do. They handle the business. They have priorities. They economic. I'm not gonna say. They treat themselves well. And what I mean by it is they manage their money well to keep a roof over their head, to maintain their lifestyle the best way they know how. But even if they don't have it, if they're not millionaires, but they're respectful, they are doing well enough to keep to maintain themselves at least. And at least have a roof over their head to sleep in. But that's not good enough. Talk about hitting the gym. So basically, this bitch is pissing me off. So basically, I can be. Am I hitting the gym? Some people don't like to hit the gym. Now, as far as being fit, I do, take my vitamins and I do, work out. But some people don't have the time to work out like that. Some people don't like to work out in no gym. Some outdoor activities is what they do. So if I'm not in the gym, you're not gonna give me the time of day. Are you fucking serious? You know how many fat women are with fit men? You know how many overweight women, especially in the black community, are with the most fit, well in shape, skinny guys. You got overweight women, what you call thick, what you call plus size, are with respectable, in shape men, fit men. Can you believe it? I see more overweight women, particularly in America, across racial lines. More overweight women, thick women, fat women, or morbidly obese women with fit men who are fit, men who are slender, men who are slim, men who are bulky but they're fit. They're still fit. They're not overweight. They're just large. They're just large. They're just large, but they're not overweight. I see more overweight women, fat women, thick women with fit men than I see fat men, morbidly obese men, thick men, big beautiful men, BBM, with fit women, skinny women, and women of a respectable size. I don't see these same so-called fit women with overweight men, and that's a double standard. There's some women who dress sloppy, but they still got the fucking pick. I see bitches with some bitches be wearing a t-shirt, wear a t-shirt, sweatpants. There's women who wear pants, wear men's clothes, and they still getting dudes. And I don't like it when a woman wears pants, and then because she thinks she can walk like a man, but you got to treat her like a lady. Women who dress slutty. I don't think a woman who dresses like a prostitute is considered a good fashion sense. It's not. How about trying to get to know the person first? Some people suck at dressing. Okay, that's a fix. That's technically fixable. Some people don't know how to maintain themselves like that. Some people don't know how to coordinate, but they're good in other areas. That's no reason to dismiss a person all because this person has too many buttons. Are you fucking serious? I mean, I never looked at a woman's outfit and dismissed her because she had too many buttons. Like I said, the only, you have that. Yeah, I'm with you when it comes to hygiene. If a motherfucker's just wearing torn up clothes and not presenting himself well like that, it just, I mean, this filthy, you know, people who just wear filthy clothes and it's all torn up that you shouldn't be wearing, and it has a foul odor and just a complete slob in that aspect. Knowing they can just take a shower, clean themselves, and wear clean clothes, you know, that are comfortable, you know, that could compliment them. But no, this bitch is rejecting men on basis of what kind of shoes, what kind of shoes they got, what kind of clothes they have, what type of clothes, not how a person coordinates or how a person presents them, what they wear to present themselves in an appropriate setting and fashion. This is the dumb shit. This is why women are. Women. When I hear women talk about she's alone, I don't feel sorry for her because she brings it on herself. So based on this fucking highness and expectations, and you assume that every guy wants a Barbie doll type of girl. That's not true. Most men don't want that. Are you inside a guy's? Are you inside a man's mind? No, you're not. Stop watching TV. Stop watching MTV, VH1. Come back to the real world, not the real world from TV. I'm talking about the real world of life. I know this is gonna be long. I know it's lengthy, but I'm trying to rush through it. But most of us work nowadays. We want to come home to a clean house and have a good meal. Got a tough work load, so what? Make it happen, Captain. And we want you to go out too. So you better be prepared to spend a little dough. Better clean the house, cook the dinner, and take us out for moscato and cheesecake prepared by your local deli chef. Do this like once a week if you want your queen to value her. Why do I gotta do all that? How about you clean your house? Stop looking at the man's for us and look at and check yourself. How about you cook us dinner? We work too. Most women don't cook nowadays. Why don't you buy us some cheesecake? Why don't you buy us some roses, some flowers? Oh, that's right. You don't have to do nothing. You have all the privilege. Yeah, I don't know how far I'm going to get. You better be mindful of many girls who you've been with. Don't be out smashing some crazy number of women, like 2 or 3, then call yourself virtuous. You need to save yourself for a good woman of your dreams and date her for 3 or 4 months before letting her have your magic stick. And guess what? If you're a TFLer who's never had nobody in their life, guess what? That's a great way to be dismissed. She didn't tell you that. Because they're out chasing the same fucking thing. Women are chasing the same. 9% of them are chasing 10% of the males. One thing I noticed is that how come you can't question a woman of how many men she's been with, and how come she can't give you an honest answer? I see that there's a double standard with this logic. Be mindful how women think and work to emulate that as best as you can. Your thoughts and feelings should take a back seat to your need by pleasing to the woman, to a woman. So put your own self aside and focus on making yourself as in tune with our feelings as possible. Consider carrying a purse or wearing a maxi pad once a month to help you further in touch with your natural feminine essence. I gotta smack that down. Fuck you, no. Fuck you, bitch. No way. How about you put aside your own feelings first? Put aside your own feelings, walk in a man's shoes, and be pleasing to us, men. You need to put your own feelings. I'm about to black out. I wish I could just curse this bitch out in person. You really need to be mindful. Okay, let's read in reverse. Be mindful how men think and work to. Okay. Okay, I'm reading this in reverse, as the man writing this article and being sexist. Okay. Be mindful of how men think and work to emulate that as best as you can. Your thoughts and feelings should take a back seat to your need to be pleasing to a man. So put off your own stuff aside and focus on making yourself as in tune with our feelings as you can possibly be. Consider carrying yourself consider leaving your purse, consider wearing Fruit of the Loom underwear and Calvin Klein underwear, boxers and briefs. Consider having a penis and having a dick between your legs, and understanding and being aware that how men are treated in this matriarchal society that we live in America. Being discriminated for being a man and being hated because you are a man. Walk in our shoes every day, not once a month, every day. Stop carrying a purse because you can't do that. Carry just a few things. Wear some polo shirt, some Dockers jeans, because there's no fashion for us. And wear just 2 pairs of shoes. Maybe if you want to wear some Timbs or some everyday sneakers. And consider just having a testicle and a penis and going through pain and suffering every day, every 5 minutes, being shit on by your opposite gender to help you get further in touch with your natural masculine essence. You understand what I'm saying? And then she says, we don't like men. We don't like man birds. Or what did she say? You don't like man deers? If you are a man with... Oh, we don't like man braids. If you are a man with braids, you should cut them off yesterday. So if you're a woman... We don't like women with long hair. We don't like women with braids. So if you're a woman with braids, cut them off yesterday. You should cut them yesterday. But you won't do that. You have to be able to protect us. You women have to be able to protect us as well. Get a MA certified to allow us to come out to a demonstration to see if you can fight good enough. I'm just going to read the whole thing. We are really like IJS, Eba. He's gorgeous, talented, and seems to have a wonderful personality. We think you should become like Idris Elba, like the movie Face Off. But with all of you covering Conan instead, as you write this, I'm a bit parched. I hate when motherfuckers use big words and they can't even put the whole that big word into a proper sentence. Stop reading and go get some water and make sure that it doesn't happen again. You gotta serve a queen if you want to be a king, and you gotta be a king. And by being a king, I mean have a woman who thinks you're good enough to deal with and drink Moscato. You're going to remember the definition of a good woman, a woman who's alive, coherent, and able to be introduced to you. Stop being so picky. Your 6-figure job doesn't make you any better than a sister who works at Mickey D's. She's got that ambition, baby. Look into her eyes instead of focusing on what a woman does now. Think about her potential. You may be able to push the ladies to get back into school or to work on accelerating her growth at work. So make sure you're willing to date and make a woman who comes your way. Where is the good woman at? Because this woman who wrote this bullshit ain't a good woman at all. She's a feminazi. She hates men. She's sexist. And this last, I want to read this in the reverse, from the man perspective. You women have to be able to fight and protect us. Get MA certified and allow us to come out to a demonstration to see if you can fight good enough. We really like, I don't even know, I'm not gonna do, we really like beautiful women, you know, who are beautiful from head to toe and who are very submissive and will cook and clean, will not give us no drama, no whip, and reward us for doing our hard work. I mean, she's gorgeous, talented, and seems to have a wonderful personality, that ideal woman. So I can't think of any woman of a celebrity because they're all parasites. And you should become our fantasy woman and make it a reality. We should clone for every good woman. That's every few good women out there. You should take what's that girl? You know, what's that girl from that YouTube video? You should take her advice. I mean, you should be like Amy Torres. I was scrolling for her channel. That's right. That's why you should take after Amy Torres and suck your man's dick every single time, and just be quiet and stop nagging. I don't want to show you that one. She's fine. Oh, okay. Well, that's why I'm back. Now we should claim millions of women like her. You know, cater to her man. You should take her advice and watch her. You know, as I write this, I am a bit parched. Stop reading bullshit romance novels. Stop watching soap operas. Stop watching shows like The View and The Talk. Get some water and make sure that it doesn't happen again. You gotta serve the king if you want to be a queen. And by being a queen, I mean just have a man who thinks you're good enough to deal with and deal with you, and drink your Moscato golden rule. Remember the definition of a good man. A man who is alive, coherent, and able to introduce you. Stop being so picky. Your looks and your so-called degree, which doesn't mean you ain't doing shit with it, you ain't building, doesn't make you any better than a man, a brother who works at Mickey D's. He's got ambition, baby. Look into his eyes instead of focusing on a man does now. Think about, let me read that again. Instead of focusing on what a man does now, focus on his potential. You may be able to perfect the perfect push he needs to get back into school or to work, accelerating his growth at work. So make sure you're willing to date any good man that comes your way. And the problem with a lot of you women, since I read that in reverse, now I'm a misogynist. A lot of you women don't know what you're talking about. And a lot of you women are not good women. This whole good person, and I'll say good man, good woman, is overused. Good woman is so overused because we haven't defined what a good woman is. Because there's none of you exist. The problem is men have allowed women to define what a good man is based on what she wants instead of what's important and what she needs. And a lot of times what you need, you don't like, you don't want. A lot of times what you really need is what you don't really want, but that's what you need. It's like this, yeah, I like to eat candy, but I gotta have my fruits and vegetables and my protein as well. I gotta have a balanced diet. I can't just live off of candy. Other than that, I would get sick and I would die of many diseases, and I will not survive. You know, I can't live off of pizza and candy and junk food. I gotta eat healthy food for me to have good health. That's what I mean by you need to focus on what's important, what's really important, and what you need instead of what you like. Because what you like can hurt you. Think about it. Now I want to show you what has sex done for us and the over promotion of sex, materialistic items, looks, fame, money, and how people treat each other. And this is what happens. This is what happens when one gender is placed on the pedestal, while the other gender, which is the men, are suppressed down in this due to female supremacy and female privilege. This whole matriarchal culture. This is what the matriarchy has done for you women. Since you don't want to take what I'm telling you seriously, then I'm going to show you how you bitches create your own killers and how crazy you motherfuckers are. And how you are a victim of your own ignorance. And how people are suffering because you're fucked in their head.
That's what I call it. I'll be right back.
Hurt. A mother who was burned on almost half of her body is getting a helping hand today. Lindsay Arp was attacked with hot grease right in front of children back in April. Right now, special benefit is going on in Laverne to help pay for her recovery. And let's go to Channel 4's Kimberly Kurth. She joins us live right now from the
condition. Her family expects her to get out of the hospital tomorrow. For now, reporting live in Laverne, Kimberly Kurth, Channel 4 News.
All right, Kimberly, thank you. Lindsay's boyfriend, Ryan Haas, who is accused of attacking her with the hot grease back in April, is charged with attempted homicide.
24-year-old Tanisha Young sits in a jail cell following a heated argument with her husband overnight. Investigators say what happened next in their Tampa home is what led to her arrest.
After the argument, the husband went, laid down in a chair, eventually fell asleep, and he unfortunately woke up to find his wife pouring hot grease all over him.
29-year-old Antone Young hiding in a closet at her mother's house.
She's been arrested and currently is charged with aggravated battery domestic violence.
Now, I replayed that for you for a good reason, because in my last video I told you, what do you want to bet she'll get slapped in the hand and he'll do time behind bars. Now, have you heard what I heard? and you really listened, he, the guy that poured the hot grease on his girlfriend, is charged with attempted manslaughter, basically murder. Attempted murder, okay? So he poured hot grease on her, that's attempted murder. She pours hot grease on him, same scenario, two different couples. Now she does it, and it's domestic abuse. That's right. Battery, domestic abuse. It's not attempted murder. It's just a guy. That's right. So he won't get a severe charge. She won't get the severe charge. She gets aggravated battery, domestic abuse, for the exact same crime that he committed. But when he committed it, it's attempted murder. Now, do you see where I'm going? Do you see the double standards in the court systems? Do you see how that works?
He is a real parasite. It's funny. Being a good mom today is killing your kids and abusing them. I'm going to show you the video in like a minute. Just see, just read, pause. And it's funny how when this is the kicker. Every time a woman commits a crime, and especially an inhumane, heinous crime, such as killing, abusing her kids, or letting somebody abuse their kids, rape their kids, or them raping their kids, or them just murdering their kids, then lying about it like Casey Anthony, they always say she has some kind of mental disorder. But then they say prior, and when you hear from people who knew her, that she was fine, that there was nothing wrong with her. She was stable, but when a woman does a crime, she always had some negative experience in her childhood. She was abused, she was molested, raped, somebody inappropriate touched her, she was made fun of, went through some hardships. The same bullshit ass excuse, and then she gets by with it. Ain't that a bitch? Here's the video.
Morning, everyone. In the news, a mother is accused of doing the unthinkable, killing her own children.
Right now, that woman's undergoing a mental evaluation. Eyewitness News reporter Dre Clark joins us now outside that family's home in South Carolina.
Yes, another poor excuse. A mental evaluation. If it was a man, he would be in jail already. No mental evaluation. Even if it was true that he had a mental illness, but chances are he wouldn't have custody of the kids. My thing is, if she's mentally fucked up, mentally ill, then why she has custody of her kids? Where's Child Protective Services? Where's Child Protective Services and where's DIFAS? I forgot, they don't give a fuck about the kids. They create a fucked up situation of single parenting or dysfunctional parents so they can take the child, kidnap it, sell it to the sex slave trade, abuse them, and kill them for blood sacrifice. And then you eat McDonald's for breakfast and lunch and dinner. And your hamburger and your sausage. Remember that when you go to McDonald's, that you're eating children.
Billy with more. Dre, good morning.
Good morning, Erica and Yuki. Sources tell Eyewitness News that 27-year-old mother who lived at this home behind me with her 2 children and other family members has confessed to killing her children. But those who know the woman say they can't seem to understand why, because she always seemed to be a very pleasant and caring woman, especially when it came to her children. Police were called to this home on the 1700 block of South 18th Street for a disturbance just after 5 o'clock Wednesday afternoon. But when they walked inside the home, they found something far more serious and disturbing. 2 children stabbed to death. The children's grandmother, seen here, found the 2 children, ages 8 and 12 years old, murdered inside their bedroom.
It appeared to be stabbed several times in their chest and upper body. Fire department paramedics came and pronounced both children dead on location.
Police say the children's mother killed her 8-year-old son and 12-year-old daughter for some unknown reason. When police arrested the woman, officers say she seemed out of her mind, acting bizarre and saying weird things. Officers took the woman to the hospital of the University of Pennsylvania.
There's a possibility she may be under the influence of either drugs, alcohol, or a combination of both because of her behavior.
It was a very emotional scene outside the family's home. This family member broke down emotionally at the scene. Neighbors say the woman and her children moved to the U.S. from Cambodia almost 2 years ago. And friends say there was no hint of violence or mental instability when she was around them. So it's hard for anyone to imagine why she would kill her 2 children.
No indication, mental issue or anxiety or depression. Based on my judgment, I don't think she have any problem with that.
And police have not released the name of that 27-year-old mother. This morning she remains in police custody and she will face murder charges. We're live in South Philadelphia. Joy Clark, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
And she'll get a slap on the hand, slap on the wrist, and be told to go home.
South Carolina's made for vacation.
That's right. More violence against the man. And I got many more to come. This one strikes. Read the article. It's been 30 years since he's been shot by his wife in the head. And there's to talk about it. You know, you can pause and you can just read the articles. Now I'm going real slow. He did left him blind without any sense of smell. Doctors decided it was too risky to remove the bullet. Rather than brought on the handicap, still marked the puckered scar on his forehead. Jim threw a party on Wednesday to mark the 30th anniversary after the shooting that almost ended his life. That should have ended his life. Now I want you to look here. Jim, 52, from Albany, Texas. Split from his wife, Jill Sanders, after the shooting. She was sentenced 20 years behind bars, but was paroled after 2 years of good behavior. Right here. She was sentenced for 20 years. But she obviously got a slap on the hand because she tried to kill her. She tried to kill her man. Tried to kill a man. It probably was some kind of assault with a deadly weapons charge, but it should have been more than. It should have been more than that. It should have been attempted murder because she tried to kill him while he was sleeping. She should have been. She should have had extra charges on her. Not only that, she gets 20 years behind bars, which is not enough. But was paroled after 2 years of good behavior. So basically, she got a nice slap on the hand. Now she's serving her sentence as on parole. Talking about how the couple met from the university. And she cheated on him. But Jim told Albany reported that their marriage was started falling apart after he caught her cheating on him with other women. So she was a lesbian. They argued, they had their drama. And right here it tells you she shot him because she had to have drama. He confronted her for her dishonesty and she couldn't own up to it. She couldn't own up to it, so she shot him. Now we have right here, kill beta male. Historically, most societies have sanctioned than an alpha male, particularly enacting on behalf of the state, may kill beta males with relative immunity if they emerge on an alpha's territory of honor or harm of females. Practices such as do the senior something like that, but often use exposed to rare betas to unwise confrontations with military superior alpha, so they could be killed without any due description of the social process. These practices are not generally sanctioned today. Ways to kill beta males that have been sanctioned by rhymes, something like that. Right here, eugenics. So basically, kill an undesirable that they stereotyped out. The person who's been stereotyped is not really the person who's been stereotyped out and been mistreated. It's not because they're actual undesirable. It's because of the fact that they do not conform with the status quo. And then you have these parasites who think because this person is different and doesn't fit in and have a mind of their own and looks different than they do, they're labeled as undesirable. Isn't that sad? They're undesirable because of the fact that they think for themselves and have critical thinking, and they are more of an adult. And you guys, you parasites, you people who are about your group thinking, you're the real undesirables, because the same people at the top who told you to label people, stereotype people out, and practice eugenics are the same motherfuckers who are going to kill you in years to come, within a year or sooner than you think. Yeah, you gotta watch this video, watch it on your spare time, because this video talks about feminism and the matriarchy and how it has destroyed men and society. But here now they want to talk about having a feminist community of matriarchy. It's really sad, all women, all man-haters. Basically, to be in this community, the woman has to be head of household. She has to run everything. The man has to be a bitch and be quiet. So you just read right here. Yep. Pause and you just read for yourself, or you can click on the link. See, right there. Tells you about female-led. Tells you about female supremacy. They got you getting in touch with your feminine side. You get in touch with your feminine side, so they can control you, because they want a manjana. They want an on-point manjana. So you manjanas, you might as well just cut your dicks off, since you hate yourself that much. You hate being man. You hate being male. You hate being a man. You think men are bad. You just came out of the matriarchy. So you might as well just cut your dicks off. You like to sell out on your own gender. You like to dump on your own gender. You like to stab your own brother in the back. You like to kill your own brother to get laid. And it's pathetic. Now I want to give you my talking head commentary. That's right. It's always the guy's fault, always the man's fault. The woman's always perfect. The woman's never wrong. That's right. Why is the guy, if TFL does not exist, and men are not living it, and men are at the bottom, are inferior to women because of female supremacy, if men have all the if male privilege exists, and male superiority exists, if men are running things, if men are on top when dealing with women, and men have it easier, and men have all the power, then why is it that men are getting slammed? Why is it that you got bitter ass women and just mean ass women who talk about all the mistakes men make, like she's never made a mistake with a man. Men make all the mistakes of having sex with women, but women don't talk to men, don't communicate with men. But women don't do nothing, just lay there and don't do nothing, but just look cute in lingerie. No contribution at all, which is a crying shame. So because the woman was not getting pleased the way she wants, that's her fault. As far as I'm concerned, she brought it on herself. You want to lay there and do nothing? You want the man to do all the work, and he's tired and he ran out of gas? That's your fault. What you see in reverse? But you see, if a man will 40 things that women miss, that 40 mistakes that women make with men. Oh, woman bashing, right? How about we give you a fucking give y'all bitches a bunch of fucking instructions of how you treat a man? You won't do it. I guess you need to listen to Amy Torres. Don't get me wrong, I don't agree with the bitch, what she's saying on a lot of things. This sex is not the answer. Is one. Men and women have these problems with relationships, and she don't specify what kind of guy she cater to. But I'm pretty sure. But women find excuses. Like they go around. Just read the article. I'm just ranting. They go around thinking that every woman is a good woman, and I guess the same can be said about with men. I guess when Amy Torres makes her videos telling you women to cater to men, get on your knees and suck his dick and cook for him, serve him. I guess I'm assuming she's talking about an on-point guy, an on-point man, and a good man. But women will always find excuses not to do anything for a guy, not to do anything for a man that's worthy of that. I'm pretty sure she ain't talking about some man who's treating you bad or treating you like shit. Unless she's talking about a man who she's in lust with, she's dead wrong. If she's talking about a guy that she has in common with and cares about and knows him because of who he is, and because he has good character, good morals and integrity, ethics, self-discipline, has control of his own destiny, knows what he has to do in life. Even if he has no clue and lost and no direction, he still has that purpose to prosper, to be successful, to live his dream, to live his life. He just needs some help on the way. But I'm pretty sure there's not a lot of good people out there. I'm pretty sure with positive reinforcement and rewarding a man for his good deeds, I'm pretty sure with their support he can find a way. But a lot of women just don't get it. You'll just read all this garbage. Female bigotry, sexism. And they don't even know what stimulates a man. And you got man Janice co-signing. I'm just so sick of this shit. Why do you need instructions how to love another human being or please another human being? I'm not going to say just because sex is not love. And sex is not the answer to the reason why we have the problems we have. Just remember, at the end of the day, after you get your dick in the hole, after you get and after a man, for you women, after you're able to get a man to put his dick in your hole, just remember at the end of the day, you still got the rent is still due. At the end of the day, you still have to worry about the state of affairs that's happening in the world. You still have to worry about the economy. You still have to worry about the price of food, the price of electricity, the price of gas. You still have to worry about your resources. Your limited resources that are being stolen by the elites. You still have to maintain good health. You still have to keep moving forward. You understand? You still got to communicate. You still got to work together. You still got to treat each other with respect, because at the end of the day, you still got to work. You still have to come back to the real world. Excuse me. At the end of the day, you still have to come back to the real world at some point. At the end of the day, you still have to come back to the real world at some point and deal with real world issues. This is not the answer. Getting intimate is one thing, but you don't need no skill set in that. That's just a scam. And don't listen to this garbage.
Hey there, it's Amy. I was actually getting ready to go out into this big, beautiful world, and something ran across my mind that I really wanted to share with everyone. And here it goes. I was wondering, why is everyone's status, bitches and niggas and everybody's status is talking about how much they hate their ex, and their ex did this and this and that, and this bitch is going crazy, she's a fucking psycho, this and that. I'm fucking tired of my newsfeed, so I'm gonna stay off Facebook for a very long time until everyone fucking watches this video. Primarily, guys turn into assholes or dicks, or they don't give a fuck and this and that, and they don't give you attention because of you, bitch. Listen to what I have to say. First and foremost, the most annoying thing on this planet is a nagging, controlling bitch. Control your fucking naggingness. Don't control him. Control yourself. Stop fucking nagging. Stop bitching. Stop telling him what he's doing wrong. Why don't you tell him what he's doing right for once? Like, fucking appreciate him. And fucking, you guys don't realize that in order to get attention, cook for him. Suck his dick. There's never a wrong time to suck a cock. Trust me. Like, the only thing you're getting from fighting is negative attention. Why do you want to fight? Why do you want a headache? Okay? And another thing that bitches forget to do once they get a boyfriend is to still do you. That's really, really important, because he met you while you were doing you, and he liked it. Because you weren't up in his shit bitching at him. You were worried about yourself. Why don't you do that for once? Like, just fucking do you. Let him do whatever the fuck he wants. Fucking stop bitching. Let him go out with his friends. Let him go clubbing. You don't have to be there all the fucking time because he's your boyfriend. No, absolutely not. Let him go to the strip club. Let him fucking flirt with bitches. Let him do it. He's still gonna come back home to you, and if he's fucking around with the bitch you just flirted with, then you're doing something wrong. Have you thought about that? Exactly. Now, another thing, go out and, like, learn about what he likes. Like, if he likes to paintball, go learn how to fucking paintball. Go buy him a new paintball gun, or fucking tell him to go paintballing this weekend with his friends. Like, kind of, show a little bit of interest as well. But most importantly, let him do what he wants. Do you understand? No? Because you're a dumb bitch. Now, let him do whatever the fuck he wants. He is less likely to fuck you over if you let him do what he wants. Alright? He will be calling you fucking confused, telling you he misses you and he loves you. Trust me, I'm talking from experience. I had a 7-year-long relationship, and trust me, he was the bomb, and he passed away, which is okay. I'm over it. Just remember, be who he met. Be that carefree, I don't give a fuck girl. They love it. Let him do what he wants. Stop playing hard to get. Bitches do that every day. Why don't you just be different? You know what I mean? You know that's weak. He's used to it. He already knows he has a game plan. That's why everyone says, oh, you're playing the game, this and that. Be different. It's not that hard. And another thing, if you don't suck dick, learn. If you're against it, stop being a stupid bitch and get over it. There's always a great time to learn. It's a very amazing bonding experience. And if you suck at it, fucking take this opportunity to go just suck his cock and learn what he likes and just get nasty with it. And just stop being a stupid bitch. Well, I'm going to go head out, and I hope you enjoyed it. So, see you guys later. And remember to tell everyone you love them, even if you don't know them, because it might be your last day.
Mm-hmm. Back and forth. So she's telling the women out there, she's telling guys that, the women out there to tell the guys that they can go out there and do whatever they want. If they're fucking around, in other words, cheating on you, then it's women, it's because you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Complete hogwash.
I mean, sometimes it is, sometimes it is. You got to take it on an individual basis. I agree with parts of what she said, but there are parts of it I definitely disagreed with.
That's what I mean. It went back and forth. There were things she said she agreed with, and other things that she said that's totally off the wall.
Yeah. Well, it's not necessarily like somebody said, oh, your guy's cheating on you. If you're a woman and your guy's cheating on you, oh, it's your fault. Well, it's not always the guy's fault. It's not always the girl's fault. I mean, you got to take it case by case. And I agree that a woman shouldn't be that possessive over the guy. Like you see women nowadays, they want to control everything their guy does, of course. But you shouldn't be with somebody that you can't trust in the first place. If you have to constantly question, oh, is he sleeping behind my back? Is he running around with all these women? If you can't trust the person you're with, then you don't need to be with them then. You know?
Got that right. And there shouldn't be somebody controlling somebody anyhow. That's not a relationship. That's not love. When somebody has to ship, that's not love.
She's actually abusing herself. I mean, it's fucked up. Because she said the guy can cheat on her and just let him do what he wants to do. Go ahead, Perk.
I was going to say that, I mean,
go ahead, guy.
I honestly don't believe anything that bitch said because, you hear her, she's talking about having oral sex and shit, whatever. I mean, she's just fucking gross.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing I disagree with her on, the fact that she thinks that love is giving somebody head or whatnot. I mean,
that's what led to, destruction of the families, to what she's talking about. Oh, let's just do this, let's do that. It's like, no, she's like one of those hippie bitches or something, man. It's really hard for me to listen to ignorant people like that. You know what I mean? Like she's just dumb. And second of all, you said this before, Bill. You said, how come mostly women are the ones trying to give advice? I mean, I agree that because most of the times, I mean, I know I don't have proof on this, but I think about 80% women probably ruined the marriages. I honestly believe that. From what I've seen from family members and everything, I think the women probably ruin more marriages than men.
Well, it just goes back to the simple fact. It just goes back to the simple fact that the woman has to do absolutely nothing to land the guy, man. She has to pick which guy that's approached her she wants to go with, There's a guy's got to do every damn thing. So the guy's in more of a spot to be given advice than the woman is, considering women don't have to do shit.
I agree with that.
That, and especially when it comes to TFL and stuff like that, man, no woman, when I say not no woman, there are a few women. There are very, 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 very few. But most women are never going to understand in a million years what that's like. I mean, that's like a fat guy who's growing up being gorged and had, growing up with a silver spoon in his mouth, going up to Somalia and telling the people out there, giving them advice about how to handle being hungry. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. Dang, man. I'm sitting here, I'm tripping out. And the reason I'm tripping, man, is because I'm like, you're sitting here telling, well, your man, just let him do whatever he wants to. You know, eventually he'll get tired of doing it. And at the same time, you know, suck his thing when he comes home. And I'm like, what? That don't make any sense. I mean, we got a society of morons running around, man. They don't know what I'm trying to say is that is not fucking love, folks. I guarantee you. You don't put up with that abuse. You don't let some man abuse you like that. And you don't let some woman abuse you like that other woman. And people are just crazy as fuck, Bill. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
They're just out of their fucking blah.
Fucking over with, guys. Yeah. Over with.
Yeah.
People's minds are completely gone. They don't even know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
Man, fuck my goddamn neighbor, man.
Do people have any of this?
God.
But,
well,
you know, I'll say this.
I tell you to shoot your neighbor, Warren, but the last time I looked, there was a law against that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
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 So therefore, I have to tell you, don't shoot your neighbor because of the fact that there is a law against that.
Yeah, I know, man.
Yeah.
So I wish you could have just done this stuff during the day or sometime. I mean,
but no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I mean, you people don't understand what it means to find somebody, one person. Just pick one person that digs you, that loves you, and stay with that person. Don't be sitting here going, well, you know, I can have better sex. Get all that shit out of your mind. Try to stay with one person and don't disrespect yourself so fucking bad. Have a little bit more fucking respect for yourself than to say, well, I can do what I want to do whenever I want to, you know what.
I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to break down
anyway, go ahead.
what we're really trying to, or at least I know what I'm really trying to say here is this, man, okay? If you're in an unhappy relationship, nobody can fault you for doing what's necessary. I mean, so if you have to get out of the relationship you're in, then get out of it. But there's a problem when record numbers of people, like the average relationship don't last no more than 2 years, you know? I mean, you know, that tells you right there that people are getting involved in relationships for the wrong reasons to begin with, you know? And you know, I'm not saying like, you know, I could be with a woman. Let's say if I met a woman tomorrow. There's no guarantee I'm gonna be with her the rest of my life. You know, I mean, you know, I don't know who she's gonna be 10 years down the road. I don't know who she's gonna be 2 years down the road. I don't know who I'm gonna be 10 years down the road. I mean, there's no way of knowing that, you know. But it's a simple matter of intentions, and it's a simple matter of being honest with oneself, and that's really what it comes down to, man, you know, and getting involved in relationships for the right reasons to begin with. You see?
Yeah. I mean, you know what's sad with me, Warren, what confuses the hell out of me is, you know, there used to be somebody would, I mean, these days are long up gone with, but you know, somebody went to school with somebody, and the girl was like, we went to school together, and then, you know, that we got older, and then we got married, and we spent our life together, or some shit like that, or, you know, something like that, and it just, you know, and they had arguments and hard times and this, that, and other, and then they just fucking growed old, you know, and then one got sick and died, and then the other one got sick and died.
Yeah.
You know, and the point being is,
you don't see it no more because of what Warren was talking about. And that's because people don't know what the fuck they're doing.
All right, hello everyone, and got an article here, and like to thank Big Boss Calvin, Mark, and Kevin for showing me this article. And boy, I tell you, if this shows you right here that, you know, women just think their stuff don't stink, you know. Says here that Gisele Bundchen has ordered Tom Brady to get hair implants. Says
Giselle wants to maintain that perfect couple image. The handsome quarterback with a head full of hair and the stunning model with her own flowing locks. She pushed Tom to see a specialist. Okay, so see, right here, this girl, she wants, she has this distorted view of what a guy should look like, especially a man with rich money, with fame and stats and money. He has to look good all the time. He's got to have that that nice thick set of hair and great athletic build, and you think she just think he's just going to stay like that forever. Well, let's kind of reverse the roles, shall we? What if this article said that Tom Brady wants his wife Giselle Bundchen to pack on a few pounds, because she is looking kind of scrawny there. What if Tom Brady said, hey, I want to maintain this perfect, couple image with the handsome quarterback and the sexy supermodel. So Tom Brady orders Giselle to get a boob job or get a ass implant job or something. Maybe do something with that hair. I don't think she would enjoy that too much. So why should she be in the position of changing Tom Brady's looks? Okay, because you look at Tom Brady. I mean, this guy has all the money and the fame in the world. He can get any old girl he wants. So I mean, hey, even if he divorces this girl, he can get another one. So she needs to just keep her mouth shut. And as for Tom Brady, I mean, wow, I mean. Obviously now, I mean, we see him with the long hair, and apparently this is where that came from. But the thing is with Tom Brady, I mean, okay, he's on the field, he's battling up against the top NFL defenses, ultra competitive guy. He can stand up to these defensive linemen who was like twice his size, but he allowed his wife to tell him how he should look. Okay, that's wrong. Okay. This is another example of just of a man just cowing down to a female. Why? Because she's got looks, because she had a few curves. Hey, if Tom Brady is losing hair, so what? I mean, everybody loses hair at some point, okay? And this dumb broad here, I don't know if she knows it or not, but people get old. And during that process, they gain a few pounds, they lose some hair, they gain some wrinkles. I mean, I don't know what they've been telling you in Victoria's Secret fantasy land, but in the real world, everybody gets older. Okay, we do get older, and it's going to happen to you too. But I already know what's going to happen to Giselle here. 15, 20 years from now, when she's all wrinkly and rusty, she's gonna get plastic surgery all over, and then she's gonna look like some unrecognizable circus freak. That's exactly what's gonna happen, man. I mean, right here, I mean this is wrong. I mean, hey, if Tom Brady wants to, if he doesn't mind being bald, then let him be, man. Why should he let this dumbass broad tell him how he should and should look? Okay, I mean, yes, we see him on the field now with the long hair, but hey, I mean, is that what he really wanted? Okay, if he wants to grow hair, let him grow hair, but I mean, he shouldn't have to do it because his dumbass wife told him to. Because like I said, I mean, what if Tom Brady said to her, hey, get a boob job. You ain't looking big enough. You too flat down there, Get an ass job, Pack on some pounds. She'll be crying like a baby if he told her that.
What does that mean? WWJD. What does that mean?
Oh, that. It stands for What Would Jesus Do?
What does that mean?
It's a reminder to myself and others who believe in him that we need to remember what Jesus would do in our everyday lives.
Oh. Okay. That's cool.
Why did you do that?
I'm sorry. I just couldn't help myself. I was just dying to know what Jesus would have done if a young girl spit root beer in her face.
I don't know what you're trying to do, but you're being very disrespectful. You need to settle down.
Disrespectful? I'm sorry, you're right. But I still want to know.
How dare you say such a thing? You're mocking Jesus.
We create negative people by the way that we treat people, by our ignorant mentality. We create negative people, and the sad thing about it is we can't see the damage that we're causing people, you know? But who am I, you know what I'm saying? What I say is not going to change the mindsets of people, you know? I'm just one person speaking out on this, you know? But I know that we create negative people by the way that we treat one another. That's why I do my best to treat people with respect and to treat people, you know what I'm saying, the way I would like to be treated, because the way that we treat one another is a big reason to why a lot of people are in the negative predicaments that they're in. Like, people always say, like, that person's too negative, I don't want to be around them, but yet you do everything to create that negative person. Just like the little kids that was in elementary school, right? They went to school every day, did their work, they were good students, and yet they were picked on by everybody in the school. They were bullied to no end. And then they went home and committed suicide, and then people say, why did they kill themselves? They were crazy. No, they weren't crazy. They just got treated like crap all the time, and it led, and sadly, you know, it led to them taking their lives. But it's sad that we as people in our society don't see what we're doing to people, how we stereotype people out, how we label people. Then when they go over the edge and do something stupid, we want to look back and say, why did they do it? Because the way we treat one another, treating other people like shit. That's something that a lot of us do in our society. And you know, when you've been treated like shit time and time again, and you've been rejected by society, I mean, you're down to your last straw, you know. And then when it gets to the point to where you're so negative, people don't want to be around you. They say, oh, he's crazy, he's too negative, I don't want to be his friend. But those same people who saying that, they need to look at themselves and ask themselves, are they responsible for this individual feeling negative about them?
From 1974 to 1978, Ted Bundy's killing spree spanned the country. He admitted to killing 30 young women, but experts believe the death toll is much higher. He was arrested in Colorado in '77, and the killing might have stopped there, but he escaped and headed to Tallahassee, Florida, where the massacre continued. In 1978, he killed 2 girls at a Florida State University sorority house, then traveled to Lake City, where he raped and murdered a 12-year-old.
I'll plead not guilty right now.
It was the last murder that did him in. Bundy was executed in Florida in 1989, and many believe he went to his grave withholding information about dozens of unsolved murders. But now cold case detectives have new information that may link Bundy to more terror. A break came in January from this display case holding memorabilia from the Bundy investigation. That's when a forensic expert got the idea to test Bundy's teeth molds for DNA evidence.
These were like uppers.
David Kaufman, a regional crime lab director for the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, had the molds checked, but nothing was found. That didn't stop Kaufman's search for Bundy's DNA.
We just decided to, let's try again. Let's call around and call again. And we got the person who knew what they had on site.
What they had was this: 2 vials of Bundy's blood taken in 1978, discovered in Columbia County, where Bundy committed his last murder.
We expect the liquid blood to rot.
The tubes were given to Felicia Hickman, an FDLE lab technician, but there was a huge problem. The blood's 33 years old.
I was thinking it may be too degraded, so I sampled from the dried area around the tube of the blood, and it worked.
Now, 22 years after Bundy's death, the state finally has his DNA, and Friday, so will the FBI. They'll test it against their nationwide database to see if it matches evidence from unsolved murders.
So, now I know it's been a long video, but you see how female supremacy is a problem now. With all the complaining that a lot of women are doing, they complain about the situation, but they don't want to do anything to better the situation. When it comes to the matriarchy, all it is a system that's governed by women, controlled by women, and it's controlled by a man, by a man who's an elite, who's a manipulator, obviously. But they put women in charge while the women are puppets in the matriarchy. They don't have no power, but they think they do. And when it comes to a matriarchy, there's a lot of corruption. I'm not saying there's no corruption in patriarchy. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes to matriarchy, you have women who are the heads, but they're puppets. They're plants. And it all it does is promote selfishness, entitlement, lies, lying, and deceiving, and using people, because the way it's manipulated is that they will take in terms of women, they want patriarchy when it benefits them, especially when it comes to the chivalry and all that stuff, and the guy catering to them and courting them on their terms. But when it comes to equality, that's not what they want. Anything that has anything to do with responsibility within a matriarchal system, the undesirable, which is the men, they have to take the worst part of either role. When it comes to a male gender role and a female gender role, they have no power, no say. So they don't get the best. Women get the best of being a woman, and they get the best and the benefits of being a woman and having the rights, the privileges, the liberations, and the benefits. And then when it comes to having the male role, they got all the rights and freedoms and the power of being a man, but they don't want the responsibility of neither. You follow what I'm saying? When it comes to patriarchy, it's straightforward. It's run by men, but most of the time, men are not puppets. There's nobody. There are some people behind. There's a few people behind the scenes, but men are mostly being run and governed by men. Not when you have a situation where women are governing it, but they're puppets. Men are running it, and when it comes to patriarchy, I'm explaining the best way I know how. It's direct and straightforward, and everybody knows everything's in order. And the role of life that you have, whether you're a man or a woman, you have your position, but you have your position, and you have the good and the bad. There's no flip-flop, in other words. Straightforward. That's what I'm saying. Now, when you saw those videos, you see how people create their own killers. You see how people treat other people like crap, and they think it's okay until something bad happens. You've seen how there's no equality when it comes to men and women, and when it comes to people, whether it's from race and their status in life and their economic status, same thing. But when it comes to a class of people, you see all these labels, all these brackets. There is another form of division. When it comes to gender, race, economic status, and social class. These are all forms of division to keep you asleep, because at the end of the day, we're all slaves of the system, but people don't want to do nothing about it. Okay, I heard some noise. And that's the problem. How come people talk about overthrowing the government? They talk about overthrowing the government, but how can you overthrow the government and talk about unity and bonding and kumbaya and we shall overcome when you're divided and when you people don't care about nobody but yourself? You think you're the only person who's important, but you don't want to hear nobody else's grievances and you don't want to hear nobody else's story. In terms of communication, you don't have no empathy, no compassion, but you want other people to have compassion for you, which is a bitch way of thinking. You know, ever notice anything that's, when it comes to a negative behavior, they always say it's a bitch move, bitch turn, pussy, matriarchy. Because ever notice? I mean, it's funny how people got this illusion of matriarchy, how it's positive, but when you look at it, everything's negative. And even the words bitch and pussy and all that stuff, it's associated with matriarchy. But back to my point, how can you talk about unity and bonding and uniting as a people and working together and overthrowing a system that you know is corrupt when you are contributing to the problem? Look how we treat each other. I mean, with all the clips I showed you, you saw how it happened again. You see how people create their own killers. You see how people practice your eugenics. And especially when it comes to the so-called dating scene, you see how men are suffering more than women. You see how women are on the pedestal. They don't care about nobody. They don't care about men, but they want men to care about them. They're on the pedestal. They treat men like shit because of the social conditioning, and they have a false sense of entitlement. They've been told that they're on the pedestal, they're infallible, and they can never be addressed, and that they have all the choice and all the say-so, and you have more men living this. and most of the women who don't like what the men are saying, mostly, whether it's TFL, even though that's not CFL is about addressing the issue of what's going on between men and women, not just a men's movement. So I don't know where people get this assumption. Maybe if you people, did your research and you actually looked in and asked questions instead of opening your mouth, you wouldn't get your feelings hurt and be put on blast. The joke's on you in that regard. But when it comes to men speaking out, whether they're MRA or not, or is there support or they're for men's rights, for some reason, and then you throw in people who support TFL or in TFL, the TFL movement. Clarification. You see you see. It seems it's so funny that all the men who are just just their own individuals, but we got the same problems, and it's due to female supremacy. And the biggest problem is the women are on their fucking pedestal, and they don't give a damn about men until they want to have a man in their life that cares about them, or something happens to them, or they get killed, or something happens, or they get raped. I mean, you wonder why you have all these violence. And women initiate the violence. Women want to talk about they're in fear. And you got a crazy bitch like Diana Boston talking about getting a gun for street harassment because the guy said hi to her and told her to smile. Ridiculous stuff. That's what I'm talking. Women are on this bullshit. I mean, you can. It's completely absurd. and women make all these fucking demands and have all this advice, but they don't. I mean, how can they even talk about what men got to do when they don't do nothing at all? It's this delusional thinking that gets them killed in the first place, and it's well deserved because of your ignorance. When you choose to, you want to deflect truth. You have men speaking out. You know, rather be talking in person on the internet. The men who are actually speaking out, the majority of us are good guys, good men that you should be with. The good men are here, and you know the good man is here. But you got your definition of a good man is a man who has a lot of money, who looks good, has a bunch of materialistic bullshit items, and is very popular and very famous, and you get to run shit. But he does everything. He's a doormat. He's a man. So basically, at the end of the day, you don't want a good man, and then your definition is so confused. Is that your definitions of a good man associated with the stuff I mentioned a couple minutes ago? You have to be in lust. So how are you looking for love when the fact is you're looking for lust? You follow what I'm saying, women? So basically, what you're saying is you want a good manjana. You want a good slave. You want an on-point bitch mates slave ass nigga. You want a on-point slave toast sucking manjana. You women you do bring it on yourselves. You force men to be alone. You act like you can't find a good man. You know the good man exists. Then when the good man who don't take your bullshit speaks out, you shut him down. You want to shut him up. You attack him, and then you shame him. It's unreal. The good men the good men. You know what the good men are, because the fact is, it kills me how you can't tell the difference between a good guy and a bad guy, but yet you keep stereotyping the good guy out and keep fucking with the bad boys. But the only time you know what a good man is when you want to blame him for shit, or you want to lump men into the same category, like you're gonna win your argument or you're gonna debunk our complaints as men. In this world, in this society, particularly predominantly America, that our issues with women has a lot to do with feminism. And I know it's more than feminism. Then you got the fucking monetary system, all that other bullshit. But our problems stand for matriarchy. A lot of you women have a feminist mindset, whether you choose to believe it or not, and you know it's the truth. That's why you hate me so much. I mean, I showed you everything personal. That's how y'all behave. That's your attitude. And this is why we need. And manginas. It's sad. I mean, men who dump on their own gender and dump on their own gender. I don't even care if the guy has a different skin color than you. You're still a man. Or how much money from the rich man, poor man. It's funny how men have all these fucking ridiculous divisions of infighting, but when it comes to women, they can unite easily. That's ironic. I'll say when it comes to women, they're mostly frenemies. They're friends. Add friends and enemy infuse the word, and you got frenemy. Men, it's either we're friends or we're not. But we got a lot of the silly division of these social politics that have nothing to do with it. And a lot of these politics keep us apart and keep us distracted. I will say this. This is why Women need. This is why female supremacy needs to come to an end, and it will come to an end. And I can't wait for that day when feminism is over and you women are taken off your pedestal. And this is why World War III needs to happen. This is why World War III needs to happen. This is why we need to have more wars. This is why the bombs need to drop. This is why we need to get hit with toxic missiles. That, you know, those missiles that they have, they're not for decorations. This is why we need to have the chaos. This is why we need to have so-called 2012. This is why we need to have the destruction. This is why our dollar needs to crash, because the monetary system has failed us. This is why we need to go back to the grid and live off the land. This is why this is why World War III needs to happen. This is why we need to get killed off. This is why we need to get killed off, and we need to have the flood. There was something in the Bible I remember reading, and it talked about, you know, the world being washed by water. Well, it needs to happen. Or being washed by fire. Rather it comes from water or fire or any other catastrophe. It needs to happen so people can grow the fuck up and get their heads out of their ass. Maybe people will, after these tragedies happen to us, will actually realize what is really important. And that's all I got to say on the subject. People, your time's up. People talk about your time's running out. Your time is up, and it's long overdue. And karma is a bitch, and it's coming real soon. If it's not coming real soon, then it's here now. You just can't see it because you're that fucking dumb. Anyway, that's all I got to say. I'm out. Peace. You have a good one.